I am Niseta Buatava, one of the 3 student learning support tutors working for the Faculty of Arts, Law and Education. With me to present this afternoon is my colleague, Siniva Laupepa, and of course, Helen Tam Tam is with us in spirit from Vanuatu. The plight of every institution, tertiary institution that is attrition. And that plight is felt by the University of South Pacific every semester after the examinations. Which is why this presentation needs to be heeded, and heeded well. In this presentation, we demonstrate through statistics from 10 courses, the results of 10 courses that were assisted under the Student Learning Support Senior Peer Mentoring Scheme in Semester 1, 2011. The main objective of the presentation is to say to the institution, the University of South Pacific, as an institution generally, and to the Faculty of Arts, Law and Education, that there is help out there and we can counter attrition. I must mention before I begin that of the 10 courses that we will be using, whose statistics we will be using during these presentations, one course, specifically UU 114, did not have all its results. So the statistics for that course in particular will be incomplete. And we apologize to the course coordinator, Dr. Rajni Chand, for that. But that's how the results were when we obtained them from the faculty. We also want to acknowledge at this point the difficulties that we experienced in extracting the results for those students that were not participants at the peer mentoring program. We had no problems at all extracting the results of our own students, whom we refer to as peer mentees, because we had their statistics, we had their names, and we could easily access their results through the MIS Online, the student management database of the university. So, without further ado, that is our presentation, and the overview is there. It's very simple and straightforward. We begin by identifying or defining past, followed by a statement of the similarities between past practices and what we have been doing at the Senior Peer Mentoring Program, in the Senior Peer Mentoring Program at FALE, the Faculty of Arts, Law and Education. We will also look at critical differences where we feel the ACE card lies. And that's the card we use to flash to the university through this presentation as a means through which we can counter attrition. And then we will close by saying how FALE can benefit as a PAS faculty. Indeed, how the university can benefit as a PAS institution. So what is PAS? PAS, in the nutshell, is a form of supplementary instruction. Supplementary instruction emanated out of the University of Missouri, Kansas City, USA, in 1973, as its own efforts to counter attrition that suddenly confronted it when it changed ownership in 1960. It's also known around other universities worldwide which later embraced supplemental instruction as PAL or PAS, depending on what needs to be emphasized, learning, L, or sessions, which communicates the collaborative nature of the activities. PAS is peer-led, regularly scheduled out-of-class sessions. These sessions target the discussion and of process course information and to process course information such as notes, assignment questions, readings, concepts, and so on. Among PAS universities worldwide, PAS is the cornerstone of the first-year experience, as it leads to increased student achievement, retention, and completions. An example of best practice passes because it's where, and also it highlights students scaffolding other students' academic efforts and success. It also leads to the formation of quality, critical future leaders and social beings. The strength of PASS is in the fact that it has very strong theoretical underpinnings in the learning theories of Piaget, Vygotsky, Watson, Skinner, and etc., etc., etc. So here's a look at some PASS institutions worldwide. There are about, and this is just from the Australasia region only, there are about 33 in total and mounting in Australia. And outside Australia, there are others, including New Zealand and our very own brother or sister, Fiji National University. All PASS institutions have a common belief, and that is that encourages independent learning as it integrates what to learn with how to learn. And it does not separate the two. In other words, it promotes the learning of study skills to learn how to learn, as opposed to just focusing on content only. I will now stop here and turn the floor to my colleague, Siniva Laupepa, who will talk about the similarities between the PASS program and the Senior Peer Mentoring Program at the Fale.
This time I'll be talking on the similarities between PASS and the SPMP that Fale is doing. And on the left side of the slide you can see the purpose of the two is similar, and the purpose is to boost student achievement, combat attrition, and raise completion pass rates, and that is both done at the universities, at the PASS University. And before I continue, I just want to mention that the University of Wollongong is the premier university where it offers accreditation to all the other universities, and it's the only university that has the trainer for all the other universities. And the nature of sessions again is similar. That's what we also offer here at the SPMP at Fale. It's non-remedial, peer-led at pre-planned times on topics based on student need. And just to take you to some of the things that we did with the students, the peer mentors, that's a law mentor. This is a psychology mentor, and you can see this is the room that we run our sessions from, and it's always full. Resources, again, student knowledge notes, course books, we also offer that here at Fale SLS. Benefits, how does the SPMP or PASS benefit students? It raises self-confidence, critical thinking skills, which leads to students becoming or having leadership skills, interpersonal and graduate attributes, and employer valued skills also. Communication skills, as you can see, our mentors, get to do other things beside mentoring. And because of the program, it boosts them in those ways. Management, we also train and monitor peer mentors. Continuous data input, this is that's what we do regularly and weekly. We input data ourselves, and like my colleague emphasized or said in the beginning, there's a difficulty in obtaining data of students whom are not in our program, and that is something that we are working on and to request for, so that we can get more accessibility into the results. Results, evident association between attendance and strong student performance output and retention rates. And for this, I would like to take you to some statistics that we put together, especially in comparing the stats of the past, the university in Wollongong and ours here at Fale. And as you can see in here, the first table or graph, you can see that this is the number of sessions students attend for mentoring. And it is obvious that the more sessions they attend, the pass rate increases. This is the second one here is what we do here, and again it's similar. It is giving the same results, and we are so happy for that. Average final mark by discipline, again this is from the University of Wollongong, and you can see that in business, the first column, the blue one, is regular participants to the mentoring program and the non-participants, and it is evident that all through the courses you can see an increase, a marked difference between the students' performance. Again, similar results are portrayed here in the work that we do at Fale SLS, and yeah. Okay, evaluation. Again, this is also another similarity that we that's happening. We evaluate the program every semester. And with that, I'd like to pass over to my colleague, Niseta. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm now going on to the major differences between past practices and the SPMP. The target is where one of the discrepancies lies. Whereas past targets, the courses, especially those with very, very low pass rates, SPMP targets the students. We target the students, and therefore we depart from one of the fundamental aims of the PASS program, and that is to always maintain a non-remedial style. So another major difference is in the PASS leader selection, there is no direct input from the lecturers. Generally, there are some lecturers who answer our advertisements on Tukutuku by recommending students that they feel would be very good mentors, peer mentors to the students. However, some do not come and have the will to participate. So yeah, there's a critical difference there. Also access to data, as mentioned earlier. We would like to be able to extract data whenever we would like to for evaluative and reporting purposes. Coordinator training, as the university knows, we were hired to teach other things, not to be student learning support personnel. So therefore we had no preparations at all for management, monitoring, maintaining such a big responsibility as this, running the student learning support anywhere in this university. Also, the university doesn't seem to value the feedback from the students, and these feedbacks are crucial because they can determine curriculum decisions. For instance, questions arise as to whether the failures are the result of course load, the heaviness of the course in terms of its demands on the students, or whether it's because the course itself is difficult. So students, and only students, know those things. And because we work with them on a daily basis, we know what they feel. So that's one of the differences in many other PASS institutions. Feedback is a critical aspect of decision-making and ghostwriting and all that. Lecturer support is very, very important. Lecturer support is very, very important. And we have an incidental statistics to show. There was a course, and I received the permission of the course coordinator to mention the course. ED354 is a course on assessment and measurement. It involves statistics, and it was taken by students from many, many different disciplines around the university. And it was purely a TFL or print course. So students had no way, they came to the peer mentor and said, please help us, it's so difficult, we cannot seem to grasp it. So our peer mentor wrote to the course coordinator requesting permission for the course coordinator to took the students through Moodle to come to her. And she was willing to do sessions from between Thursdays and Saturdays. And the statistics speak for themselves. The percentage of those, the peer-assisted students who passed overall is in the 80s compared to those of the unassisted students. Also, the average final mark for the course, also there's a huge discrepancy between the marks of those who were assisted and those who were not. And of course, the retention rate is also there, and it shows also a marked difference in the rates between the two different kinds of groups. So how can Fale benefit as a past faculty? Target the courses, because it removes stigmatization and boosts participation. It increases passes, especially in difficult courses. We can also benefit through lecturer cooperation and support. Please give us unrestricted access to student data. You can benefit also by using the student feedback to inform curriculum decisions. And of course, train us so that we can better help the students and so that we can better train the mentors so that they can turn out effective mentees. We come to the question we begin with, is Fale then a past faculty? In every sense, yes. But some past fundamental principles we feel are missing. And they are there. And I will cut short by saying that as a past faculty, Fale can enter the global past community of practice and benefit from the collective best practices and contribute to it as well. As a past faculty, Fale can contribute to USP's vision by nurturing the growth of quality, relevant, sustainable, critical thinking students as future leaders and social players. Thank you very much.